Last thing I want to say before ending this video are my thoughts regarding the next Zelda game, the one that's supposedly going to begin or is in the beginning stages of development according to Miyamoto from E3, and the whole fundamental change. I, for one, am going to applaud this because the jokes of, Ocarina of Twilight or Twilight of Time or so on and so forth, the Twilight Princess are founded because I got this whole Ocarina of Time feeling the entire time I played it, with the few exceptions of for certain few dungeons. I mean, the Lake Bit Temple was almost a blatant ripoff of the Water Temple in some certain sections. I mean, move the staircases to raise and lower the water level. Wow, we haven't seen that before. Not to say Twilight Princess was a bad game. I think it was an absolutely fantastic game. But it leads to the point that Nintendo's having with all other franchises. They can't, break the mold of what they've been doing for so long. I mean, look at Mario. It's still collect 120 stars or sprites or whatever he's supposed to be collecting. So I'm going to welcome this, fundamental change. There are basically two things I want to see. The first off, use the Wii Motion Plus for realistic sword fighting. That has to be a must. If you demo the realistic sword fighting in Wii Sports Resort, then you better as hell do it in Zelda, because that is the one game that really should have a realistic sword swinging type of game besides lightsabers, which LucasArts has every right to be pissed off Nintendo from hiding that from them, but that's another rant altogether. So let's do some realistic sword fighting instead of, little 4 combos that we seem to get in every Zelda game regardless of which it is. And now the other thing I particularly want to see be done is be like Majora's Mask and break the mold. We don't have to be set in Hyrule. We don't have to be saving Zelda from Ganon. We don't have to be doing everything we've been doing. I want to see something like Majora's Mask set in somewhere else, or a different bad guy altogether, or, just do something different, for you to explore. I mean, running through Hyrule, going the same, collect 3 whatchamacallits, see cutscene, go get Master Sword, go collect more whatchamacallits, and then go fight Ganon. I mean, just do something different. It would perk everyone's interest, and it could potentially be good. I mean, Majora's Mask is probably the most underrated Zelda game ever, and does not get the credit it deserves, even though it was a bit short. But it was very unique. So that's just the starting point of that, idea that I want to say about the new Zelda game. Expanding upon that idea, I want to see a new villain. I mean, besides Vati and Majora, we have not seen any new main bad guys besides Ganon, and it's starting to get repetitive. I, for one, want to see more Vati. I think he would be a very good character to expand upon, even though he has been in 2 games. I think he would be kind of cool. Or maybe expand upon Majora. Or just do a new villain altogether. Just anyone but Ganon, because I think everyone is getting sick of, fighting him. And finally, the new Zelda game in general, let's see. Expand upon the weapons. I liked the spinner in Twilight Princess because it was something new and unique. I mean, every game we got the bow and arrow, the bombs, the mirror shield, or something along those lines, and just, expand the item variety. I mean, we don't have to get the same things every game besides this typical bow and arrow and bombs, because those are basically necessary. One final idea I want to talk about is I read on a website somewhere, I can't remember which one, they talked about the MMOs they would really like to see, and their first choice was Zelda. And I very much agree with that, oddly enough. I thought it was stupid at first, but then when I really thought about it, I think it'd be really cool. I mean, you have a class system set up with all the different races, and you have a whole bunch of varied locations, from Death Mountain to, Zora's Domain and the Kokiri Forest and so on and so forth. So you have a whole bunch of domains and classes already set up. You just have to implement it right. And again, all MMOs are grinding, but I think Zelda could potentially do it well if they can, put in dungeons that require teamwork and so on. So I think that would be a very good idea, but not on the system, because obviously the Wii has no storage space, and the online absolutely is horrible. And Nintendo would never, ever do that. But a guy can hope, right? I mean, I personally think it'd be fun to play as Zora in an MMO. So hopefully I am not the minority on that. And if Nintendo would ever make a system capable of that and make the online good enough to where we could actually, potentially pull that off, I would very much like that. But like I said, Nintendo's never, ever going to do that, but a guy can hope. So that's just about everything I wanted to cover in this spiel. Hopefully I can get some comments or video responses so we can actually talk about this and debate it. So that's pretty much it. Talk to everyone later, and